Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashai, Bahashem, Racha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. Peace, salutation, blessings, and mercy to the Lord's elect. Yahweh is the name of the Most High, meaning He is, He exists, He to be. Yahawashai is the name of His beloved Son, meaning He delivered or He Savior. Us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the real Israelites. And the self-proclaimed white man Esau Edom, that's his true identity. All right, he's a descendant of Esau Edom. And I'm back in the spirit with a quick video, Lord's will is edifying, based off of this topic you see right here on the screen, which reads, Americans don't want to fight for their country anymore. All right, due to many reasons, one of them being that, a lot of people are just waking up to the reality of America's bullshit, invading these other countries unjustly. People are awake to certain lies and tricks the American government plays. All right, but another reason is just that these people, they aren't in the spirit to fight. All right, because everyone is in an effeminate, demonic spirit, not a very manly, warlike spirit. Although there are, certain people who have those violent demons on them, pursuing to prophecy that, violence would increase in this earth, just like during the time of the flood. But for the most part, people are just all into themselves today. They don't believe in this country. They don't want to fight for this country. All right. So the result of this is going to be a draft. All right. Because let's grab the scripture real fast and Revelation 11 and 14, which reads, the second woe is past. All right. What does it mean by woe? Destruction. It's going into World War II. All right. World War II passed. It says, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right. And that third woe is World War III. All right. Pursuing the prophecy, the war of Armageddon, the war that's going to bring our Lord Yahawashai to take over this realm. All right. The war to end all wars. That's coming quickly. And we clearly see that. All of these nations are flexing their nuclear might and capability. All right. There's all type of turmoil going on in that region, the Valley of Jehoshaphat. All right. Which they call the Middle East. All right. It's all type of tension between these nations that hold high nuclear capability. All right. Tension between Russia and America, between Iran and the state of Israel. As prophecy tells us, the least of the flock is going to draw out all these other nations. All right. And then you have China and North Korea that have military might. All right. And you see what's going on right now between Russia and Ukraine, between Israel or what they call the state of Israel and Hamas. All right. And then you just see how quickly things could implode. Right. And it's all pursuing into prophecy. Things could pop off just that quick. All right. And they're openly promoting the mark of the beast now at this time. All right. So we're very close. The third woe, World War III, is coming quickly. All right. Where all of these nations will be engaged in nuclear war. And that war is going to turn America into a lake of fire. All right. That's the prophecy. So, the third woe is coming quickly. But meanwhile, Americans don't want to fight for their country anymore. All right. Which is going to force this devil into creating a draft. All right. Just like he had to do for the Vietnam War. All right. There's going to be a draft and people are going to be forced to go to the Middle East, and they're never going to return. They're going to die there. All right. And we'll get the precepts to back up what I'm saying. But let's read a little bit of this. It says, majority of American adults would not be willing to serve in the military were the U.S. to enter into a major war. And the U.S. is getting ready to enter into a major war. All right. That war we just read about in Revelation 11 and 14, the third woe. It says recent polling has found while public confidence in the armed forces appears to be waning, all right, meaning that, most people are against, guns and force. All right. But I won't even say most, because it's divided half and half. All right. Division. It says the figures come as all branches of the armed forces have in recent years struggled to meet their recruitment targets. All right. So no one believes in this country no more. No one believes in, the lies this country uses to justify itself in attacking other nations, which they've done for years. All right. Of course, you still have your, gun-hold Americans that are diehard for this country. All right. But especially this new generation of so-called young men coming up, within the age gap between like 20 and 30. No one's willing to go die for Babylon the Great. All right. They're going to be forced to. All right. They're going to be forced to. Okay. And this recruitment thing, they're actually calling it a crisis. In other articles I read, it's a recruitment crisis. It says suggest a growing apathy towards a career of military service. In 2023, the Army and Air Force fell short of their prospective goals by around 10,000 recruits, while the Navy was under by 6,000. Since 1987, the number of active duty personnel has fallen by 39%. All right. So there's no denying that a draft is coming. All right. These young men and even women. All right. You women want to be equal to men. You marching for your rights. Well, you're going to have the right. You're going to be forced into the right to go fight for Babylon. All right. The U.S. Army, and this is a desperate call right here. The U.S. Army is having a hard time recruiting. Now it's asking soldiers dismissed for refusing the C-19V to come back. All right. So they got discharged for not wanting to take the juice. All right. But the narrative didn't fully play into Esau's hand like he would have liked it to. Now they're having a hard time recruiting people. So they're reaching out to these individuals they discharged, welcome, telling them they could come back. All right. Hey, this place is through. This is why I'm bringing this video out, just to show how through Babylon the Great is. No one even believes in this place no more, let alone wants to go fight for it. All right. But they're going to be forced to. All right. There are going to be Americans fighting for this country because that's pursuing the prophecy. All right. This won't be too long. I just got a few precepts. Jeremiah 51. All right. And what does this chapter go into? The destruction of Babylon the Great, America. All right. The nuclear destruction of America. So Jeremiah 51 and verse 30. It reads, the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. Right. Meaning they don't want to fight. All right. They don't even want to join the army. It says they have remained in their holds. Their might hath failed. All right. This America known as the hammer of the earth. right? The strongest military on the earth. Well, not necessarily anymore, because they're having a recruiting crisis. And then on top of that, they got a bunch of women and happy people in the military. All right. They aren't in a warrior-like spirit. People who join the military are just joining the military for the benefits. That's it. It says their might had failed. They became as women. All right. And literally, a good percentage of the U.S. military includes women. All right. Who have not, who are not in the spirit of going over to the Middle East and fighting a war. All right. Regardless of if they think they are, in reality, they're not. All right. No woman is just in the spirit of carrying a machine gun and just seeing all type of death. No. It says they have burned their dwelling places. Her bars are broken. All right. And hey, this place is completely through. And it's going to wax even worse and worse. All right. So I want to also get this precept in Revelation 12:12. Just to show that, hey, this devil, he's going to do what people think he would never do. He's going to do it. He's showing his horns. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, the so-called white man, is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Yeah, he knows that these nations are about to go to war. He knows Yahushua is coming because he sees the chariots everywhere. He sees the prophets going in and then prophesying. All right, he knows he has a short time. All right, why do you think he's even mentioning this stuff in his mainstream news media about it being a U.S. military recruiting crisis? All right, because he's about to come down with great wrath. And a small part of that is him mandating a draft. All right, where, young men and even women are going to be forced to join his military and to fight the war of Armageddon, to fight the losing war. All right, because no nation is going to win World War III. Yahushua is going to win World War III. He's coming to conquer. All right, and then also keep in mind the missiles. So although this war is going to be fight with missiles, you are going to have certain ground troops. All right, those individuals that are drafted into the U.S. military, they're going to be sent to the Middle East pursuing the prophecy. All right, let's get a couple scriptures on that. Let's start with Isaiah, the 9th chapter, verse 5. It says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. Yeah, those ancient world battles where you had men face to face, getting it in with bucklers and shields and swords. All right, very brutal, very brutal environment. All right, but this modern warfare is even worse. It says, but what shall be this war to end all wars, shall be with burning and fuel of fire by the way of those hypersonic nuclear missiles. All right, that's primarily how this third war is going to be fought. This third world war, the third woe. All right, with the purpose of the Most High to destroy America, Babylon the Great, to melt it to a lake of fire. All right. And there is also going to be a gathering of actual people. All right. The nation's armies over there in the Middle East to also fight a physical fight. All right. That's going to be like the epicenter of World War III. So let's get from here. Let's go to Zephaniah. Zephaniah 3:8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, until the day that I rise up to the prey. So us servants of the Lord, we don't have to do nothing but teach this word and wait for Yahweh Shai. All right. It says, for my determination is to gather the nations. And the Lord is doing that right now. All right. And these Americans are going to be drafted, packed up on planes and aircrafts and shipped over to the Middle East to stay there and die. All right. They're never coming back. It says, and this is why it says that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. All right. So the Lord is going to gather all of the nation's armies over there in the Middle East. And then that's when he's going to pop up with the angels. He's going to visit this realm and zap them, melt them to a lake of fire. I'm sorry, not a lake of fire. He's going to zap them into powder. And we're going to get that precept in 2nd Ezra 13. It reads, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. And during that time where Yahweh Shai and the angels come and zap the armies of the nations to powder, there's going to be nuclear missiles destroying certain lands. All right. And 200 million warheads from those missiles are going to turn America into nothing, into a desolate place. All right. And it's going to remain that way forever. All right. So let's go to 2nd Ezra. 2nd Ezra 13. And this is the vision Ezra had. I'll start from the top. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. All right. And Yahweh Shai and the angels during World War III, they're going to visit this realm in the Middle East region. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed. That man is Yahweh Shai. That man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, the angels. All right. Did not Enoch prophesy that? Let's get that real quick in Jude, because Enoch saw this. Jude 1, and what is it, 14? Yep, Jude 1 and 14. And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, right, a descendant of Adam, prophesied of these, saying, behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints, the angels, to do what? To execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches, which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. All right. So these people that are going to get forced by the draft to go over to the Middle East to fight. All right. That's their judgment, because Yahweh Shai and the angels are going to appear in that region, like it said right here, to execute judgment. But let's go back to 2nd Ezra 13 and read more. It goes into detail. All right. Again, in verse 3, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. All right. And the scriptures tell us in Revelation that every eye is going to see Yahweh Shai. All right. Whoever is alive on this earth, when Yahweh Shai arrives, they're going to see him. That's how big his chariot is going to be. And that's how big he's going to be. He's going to make it to where every eye is going to see him. All right. And it's going to be televised. All right. Just like they show in that Superman movie, Man of Steel, when General Zod, came to this planet, and he interrupted every nation's broadcast and told them in their own language, you are not alone. Verse 4, it says, and wheresoever the voice went out of his mouth, the mouth is the epicenter of the chariot he's going to be in, the so-called spaceship. All right. And his voice here is representing the fire that's going to come out, the laser beam. It says, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number, from the four winds of heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea. And these are the nations that are going to be gathered over there in the valley of Jehoshaphat, all right, which we read about in Zephaniah 3:8. Those are the nations that are going to be fighting each other, right? And when they see Yahushua and the angels come, they're going to stop fighting each other, and they're going to try to go after them, all right, as crazy as it sounds. It says in verse 6, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, representing the chariot, because that's how big it's going to be, and flew upon it. So he's going to be standing on top of that chariot. But I would have seen the region of place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. All right, that's how big the chariot is. All right, he couldn't see where it started, couldn't see where it ended. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. Right. So right now we can't imagine that, mortal flesh would try to, physically go up against Yahushua and the angels. But hey, the Lord is going to put the spirit on them to do it. And they're going to be, like it says right here, sore afraid, and yet durst fight. It says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, they're going to be trying to hit the Lord with missiles and pocket nukes and, grenade, all type of crazy shit. It says he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, out of the epicenter of the chariot, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. All right, now this is going into the laser beam. All right, the weapon that's connected to those chariots. All right, it's concentrated fire, as it explains here in verse 11. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest. All right, and this is a heavenly fire. All right, this is like no weapon Esau could create. Esau got his due, his direct energy weapon. The Lord has his direct energy weapon from the chariots, and it's not comparable. All right, it says, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived but only dust and smell of smoke. All right, it's going to be that easy and that quick for Yahushua and the angels to get these nations out the way. All right, so those nations that are drafted to war and sent out to that region to fight, they ain't going to make it back. All right, they're going to be a fulfillment of this prophecy here in 2nd Ezra 13 and 11. All right, they're going to be nothing but dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. All right, who wouldn't be? All right, so let's just end this lesson off, because I believe the point I wanted to make has been proven with 2nd Ezra's 16, 33, and 34. Just to stress the point of the draft that's coming here in these last days for World War III. 2nd Ezra 16 and 33, it says, the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. All right, what does this mean? A lot of men are getting ready to die. A lot of so-called men. All right, I say so-called because these men here in America, they aren't really men. All right. And this is why in verse 34, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed. All right. So this third war is going to kill a lot of people. All right. It's going to be a lot of people's judgment. All right. A lot of men here in America are going to be drafted to that war to fight against their will. And they're not going to make it back. All right, we just read why they ain't gonna make it back. It says, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Right, because aside from the war, simultaneously, it's going to be all type of hells going on. Famine, seditions here in these states, civil, wars, all type of stuff. Newly created creatures. All right, the Lord has many judgments prepared for this time we're in. This is the time of Jacob's trouble, a time like never before. All right. Many Israelites are going to be drafted and sent over to the Middle East to be destroyed by Yahushua and the angels. Man, that's a crazy judgment. To be an Israelite and a part of your judgment is to get shipped to the Middle East, representing America, Babylon the Great, and to see your Lord Yahushua come and zap your ass to powder. That's crucial. All right. And then, 2/3 is going to be put to death here in America by those nuclear missiles and all type of other troubles. Man, this is a crucial time. Crucial. So I'm going to end it here in Jeremiah 30:7, which reads, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. All right, Jacob, the forefather of the Israelites. All right, it says, but he shall be saved out of it. All right, the he that's going to be saved out of it is that remnant, that elect remnant that's going to call on the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and be saved. Because what we read in 2nd Ezra 13, when Yahushai and the angels pop up and zap the nation's armies to powder, the same time that's going on, nuclear missiles are going to be flying everywhere. All right, blowing America up to a lake of fire. But at that same time, the angels are going to be sent, as Yahushua told us in Matthew 24, all around the earth to gather the elect. All right. And like the apostle said, and it makes perfect sense, all the elect could be beamed up in one ship. All right. And Yahushua's ship, he's going to have the biggest ship. Ezra couldn't even see where it started or where it ended. All right. So this is a perfect double mission. Yahushua and the angels are coming for destruction and salvation of the elect remnant. All right, that's the he that's going to be saved out of this troublesome time. So I'm going to end this lesson there. Lord's will, it was edifying. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai Bahashem, Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy.